Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for another installment of the beloved franchise of a murderous cartoon doll? That's right, Megan 2.0 is coming to theaters. She's not a cartoon, she's a robot, but the whole entire thing is comedy-filled and stupidity absurdist. It's going to be a blast. If you like the first one, get ready for the second one. That's probably the best pitch I can give. Welcome once again to the Box Office Buds. My name is Tony Squares. As always, I'm joined by Alex Alche and Alex Kellerman. Three of us are in a fantasy box office league. We each draft 5 movies. Whoever makes the most worldwide box office wins the movie league. Our producer, TJ, who you may have heard the voice of, you may have even seen on this channel. Maybe you're friends with him in real life, and I am sorry for that, if that be the case. He is the one that has Megan 2.0 on his team. He is also the one who is not here to defend his crappy pick of a movie, but instead, we bring in one of his friends, well, a guest of this movie, a horror fan through and through. Welcome to the show, our guest for the week, Mr. Ryan C. Showers from the podcast Scream with Ryan C. Showers. Now, Ryan, welcome to the show. I know you're a big Scream guy, but where in your heart do you hold the Megan franchise?
Well, so hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. And you said TJ was a friend. I think that's a bit too much. I would say acquaintance, side piece
colleague,
at best. Yeah,
colleague, acquaintance, side piece.
Yeah. Side piece for sure.
Colleague makes it sound like he's my equal. I mean, like, I don't know. That's a bit too much for TJ. You said beloved franchise about Megan. Is that really what Megan is?
That's why I asked it.
It's got a following.
Okay, Scream is a beloved franchise.
I don't know if you could call it a beloved franchise. That's why I asked.
It has a fandom.
I'm going to say no right now. I think, we don't know yet. And that's kind of the test of Megan 2.0, right? Is that was the first movie like a one-off? Or is it something that's going to truly last and go into the future? One thing I will tell you as a horror person is it is so hard to create new IP that has legs to go on to be a franchise. They don't happen all the time. I think Scream and Ghostface, that is an example of not a slasher movie that came out in the 70s or 80s that went on to have a million sequels. Scream came out in the 90s, and you don't really get many franchises like that. Megan is an exception, could be an exception. We don't know yet. So Megan 2.0 will definitely be the test. But overall, I liked the first movie. I think there was a little bit of a ridiculous overreaction to it, both with the money, but really from the critics. I know this is the box office podcast, but 93% on Rotten Tomatoes is obscene for Megan. Yeah. It's almost it's almost as obscene as a 93% for Final Destination Bloodlines. This is too much. We're overcompensating here. So
I think it's predominantly about what the genre identifies as. You know what I mean? This is not a movie that objectively is an Oscar winner, but it's hitting the genre and the zeitgeist in such a way that the critics are able to, attack it that way. But if they were comparing it to, I don't know, Sinners, it's not even in the same ballpark.
Right.
Yeah, but I do think that similar to Scream, something that it has in its benefit, something that could keep it in the zeitgeist, is that it spawned a very popular Halloween costume.
It did. Yeah.
And so I see Megan's everywhere.
That is something you talk about a lot on your podcast, Ryan. Is it merchandisable?
And right. Megan definitely is. And for instance, I know this is a really stupid example, but she was featured on RuPaul's Drag Race as a challenge, which was interesting.
She's been adopted as kind of a gay icon, right? Am I right about that?
Yes, but I think I don't know. I mean, So TJ, whenever I got the invitation to come on, he's like, "Oh, well, Ryan, you're gay, and you can talk about this because Megan's a gay thing." I'm like, "No,
you're not a monolith, Ryan. You are not a monolith."
There's nothing in the movie that's particularly or overtly gay, right? It's just been adopted similarly to the Babadook as a gay figure, right?
I don't even think there's that much in the first movie that is particularly gay. I think that maybe in Megan 2.0 we'll see the gayification of Megan. But
can I ask, in your opinion,
what
makes a movie gay?
Well, so And I guess here's why potentially Megan has gotten the reputation of being a gay thing is because gays love female characters. There's almost like, because like gay men never really saw themselves in like masculine characters, like we almost like are drawn to female characters. Like, so that's why horror gays like me love The Final Girl. We love Sidney Prescott. We love Gail Weathers. We love Laurie Strode. And right.
I've never even
like,
heard the term horror gaze. That's great.
Yeah, it is what it is. But so like we don't look at them through the male gaze. We look at them for being kind of snarky, sassy, badass, powerful, and I think that's kind of the gateway. And with Megan, she kind of embodies all of that while still being a villain, which, you know, gays also love villains. Like, what gay didn't grow up watching soap operas and obsessed with like the dramatic female villains in them? So that's how I understand it.
When it comes to standing out in any culture, what I think made Megan 1 the huge success was, just like you said, appearing on a roof, like the marketing, the putting Megan in all of these different places because she is an AI robot. So having her, she appeared on a podcast with Bowen Yang, and they interviewed her for the promotion of this movie. Like, they go to all ends to try and make this Megan appear. She started appearing at baseball games where she'd stand up behind the home plate just to be there. They did that with Smile as well. But with Megan, it really, really worked for the first movie, especially coming out in January 2023. People are just now coming back to the movies. People felt like they had to go see this to be a part of the culture because everyone was talking about it. Megan 1 made $30 million domestically opening weekend, which was a ginormous success, and it kept on making money. 181 million worldwide when it was all said and done for Megan 1. The second highest movie from producer TJ worldwide when it came to killer doll movies. Number 1 being Annabelle, which opened to 37 million and 257 worldwide, but again, that's coming off of a different IP, a spin-off. Megan 1 was a huge success. TJ picked this movie in order for it to be a huge success for his team, and let me tell you, he needs it. Because his first few movies did okay, but Thunderbolts did not exactly make the money anyone expected. TJ, however, is in 4th place right now in our fantasy movie league. He has $525 million based on his first 2 movies. The leader right now is Me and Dangles, $1.3 billion. This is the 10 days of TJ. This right here marks the beginning of it. This makes or breaks his season. With Megan coming out this weekend, and next weekend his big guy, Jurassic Park. He needs both of these to be box office successes if he wants to take control of this league. Because, again, he's only about $700 million off of the lead. If Megan can give him a good jump and then Jurassic Park comes through with a hammer, he's suddenly atop of the standings and we'll never hear the friggin' end of it on this show. So, with the 10 days of TJ, I'll ask you, if Megan hit 181, does Megan 2 have a chance of beating that number? Ryan, we'll go to you first.
Well, before I answer, I just want to just clarify. So TJ today, he admitted weakness to me because he told me that he's insecure about Jurassic Park, which, you know, and then he yelled at me because I had an opinion about the last Jurassic Park movie, and he like screamed at me. I'm like, what's wrong with you, heterosexual? Like, come on. But so in regards to Megan, you know, I kind of think it's going to go over. I do. I think that like it's enough in the pop culture, and a lot of people saw that movie. Like it was such a surprise, and I think that the marketing will pay off because the marketing is even bigger and better this time. And it's coming out in June. Like, you know, this is actually a really nice time for it. So I'm gonna say over. Yeah.
More than 181 from Megan 1. Alche, what say you?
Yeah, I mean the marketing is really excellent. I liked Megan 1, but like I am not the one who's flocking to this weekend. I'm an F1 baby, but I do think it's got the possibility of hitting like 200, 220. You know, I don't think it's gonna do gangbusters, and it's definitely like plummeting over the next month. So it has to make its hay this week. I'm going to say like 200. Yeah, I'll go over.
200, slightly over. Kellerman, over or under 181 when it's all said and done?
Gosh, I mean, it has so much going for it, in my opinion. I think that going up against F1, it captures the entire younger audience between the ages of 16 to like 25, 30. That said,
not that middle America audience though, baby.
That said, I think it just will get eaten alive by all the other movies coming out this summer, both things that are already out and the things that come out immediately the week after. So I don't think it will make as much ultimately as the first one did. I think it maybe gets around that number, but probably just doesn't quite max out, like 175, 180 maybe.
Kellerman, we're making it an even split on the show. I am under the original number as well. This is nothing against TJ. I just think what we've seen so far is going to continue playing out. These movies get just eaten by the other movies coming out this summer.
Yeah, in a
It's
vacuum,
absolutely
if
loaded.
this were February, I would say to the moon with Megan. But with all these other things coming out, I just don't see how it could possibly make that much money.
I will say some of the positives for Megan 2.0. It's the same director. He also wrote this movie versus the first one. Just the story is written by the writer from the first movie. So it's the same creative team attacking this thing. You're going to get the same flavor. If you liked Megan 1, you're probably going to see the same thing in Megan 2. And also, what TJ spent to get this movie in our movie auction draft, he only spent $7 total out of his $100 budget. This was a throwaway ticket for him. So if it hits over the 181 that the other two predict, that's a great win for him because he spent the same amount as Alche spent on Mickey 17, and that movie made no money whatsoever. Megan 2.0. Megan 2.0. By the way, still halfway through Mickey 17. I probably always will be halfway through that movie.
Oh, my goodness.
Megan 2.0.
The best half, by the way.
has also a chance to crack a list. We like to do best of rankings on this show every episode, whether it's a top 3, whether it's a best of movie. We wanted to find out, can Megan crack this list? Has she already cracked this list? I want to know, and I'm going to come in this very biased. I'll explain in a second, but I want to know, does Megan 2.0 have a chance to crack the best doll movie list? And in each of your respective opinions, what is the best doll movie? Ryan, our guest, let's go to you first.
Okay, so I think Megan's definitely cracking that list. Megan 2.0, I should say. Megan 2.0 will definitely crack that list. And, I just want to note one more thing about Megan 2.0 and why I have a lot of confidence in it. It's twofold. One, PG-13 versus rated R in terms of horror movies, that makes a huge difference. If Scream was rated PG-13, it would probably double its grosses. Yeah. And so, I mean, it has an easier path than, say, I Know What You Did Last Summer, coming out in a couple of weeks. So that's one. But two, also Megan is kind of like the horror is being it's not being emphasized as much in this film. It seems to be more action comedy-ish, which will again appeal to a broader scope of people, not just horror audiences. So I think Megan 2.0 is definitely going to draw a crowd and make this list. And to answer the second question, my favorite, I'm just going to throw out The Bride of Chucky, which is the Chucky movie that came out in the late 90s in the Scream era. I know I'm very on brand for who I am in my podcast, but it is like the Screamification of Chucky. And I love Chucky in general. So yeah, Bride of Chucky.
I like that answer. I actually wanted to circle all the Child's Play movies because when TJ gave me the list of the top 5 killer doll movie box offices, I was like, where is there a Chucky movie? Bride of Chucky made the most money out of any Chucky movies, and it was only $50 million worldwide. These movies do not make any money whatsoever.
They don't make money.
Kellerman and Alche, I'm going to go to you for best doll movie. I just want to say mine real fast because I'm going off the cuff here. We talked about earlier how I am so scared of vampires, and I love watching vampire movies because that's like my horror. I love seeing it because they get to me. I have never found any interest in a killer doll movie, whether it's a real scary movie like Annabelle or a fake horror comedy like Chucky. They're always effing stupid. I hate all of them. I didn't like Megan. It's not built for me. Killer doll movies stink. So my best doll movie, I have a bunch listed, like Toy Story or Small Soldiers or even Life Size with Tyra Banks and a young Lindsay Lohan. But my favorite doll movie goes to Guys and Dolls, starring Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando, Gene Simmons and Vivian Blaine. It's a movie that probably isn't getting made now because it's really just a movie about 2 guys trying to ask out 2 girls and how to get around the defenses. However, the music's great, the acting's great, it stands the test of time. Guys and Dolls is my favorite doll movie. Alche.
Lame answer, but sue me, what can you do me? I love you. If that's the case, if you're gonna go that route, I'm going with Barbie.
Great pick. Great pick.
I don't agree that counts as a doll movie.
Then I'm definitely going. It's either Barbie or Bride of
100%.
Chucky. I love Bride of Chucky. Barbie or Bride of
100%
Chucky.
agree Barbie's a doll movie. 100% agree
No.
Barbie is a doll
Disagree.
How could you?
I disagree.
How
yeah,
could you possibly
yeah.
think it's a doll movie? There's not one single doll in the movie.
movie. They're all dolls. They're all Barbies and Kens.
No. It's based on an IP that is a doll, but she's not a doll. She's a person.
It's kind of a cop-out answer, Cheese.
She's
no,
the
not gonna lie.
personification, a live being of a doll in a doll world. She's a Barbie
So we got-
girl in a Barbie world in that movie.
We got one vote for Barbie, one vote for Guys and Dolls, one vote for Bride of Chucky. Kellerman, what say you?
I mean, look, I am quite the opposite of Tony. I love killer doll movies. I love all genres of doll movies. I realized while I was going through doll movies.
What other genre of doll movies are there?
Well, like you said, there's like Toy Story, right?
Yeah.
Small Soldiers. Those don't quite. Toy Soldiers is like an action, like a kid's action movie.
That's awesome.
Toy Story is obviously a children's film.
Mm-hmm.
I have like a lot of honorable mentions like that, like Tales from the Hood, which has, I think, one of the scariest doll sequences ever filmed. Puppet Master has made 7 movies or so of doll horror, but and Annabelle has recently come into the zeitgeist as being like a very popular doll. And I love the Conjuring movies, but it's always going to come back to Chucky for me. And while I love Bride of Chucky, I would say Bride of Chucky was my favorite when I was younger, for being more fun than the other ones. But as I've rewatched them as an adult, I feel like Chucky 2 is like the quintessential doll movie. It's the one you think of. It's in the doll factory. It's got the melting rubber, all the like things you think of when it comes to
It's good.
Chucky and doll movies. It's all from 2.
Fact check, Kellerman. It's Child's Play 2, not Chucky 2. And
I'm so sorry. Child's Play 2, of course.
Get
And,
him,
oh my God.
Ryan.
And oh my God, did you just call me immature because I picked Bride of Chucky over the original Child's Play?
No.
Get him,
I
Ryan.
still love Bride of Chucky. I still love Bride of Chucky. Still love it.
Sure.
But it is somehow campier than the earlier ones.
It is.
Yeah, that's what makes it great.
So,
Right.
comment section, you tell us. What out of those 4, what is the best doll movie? Guys and Dolls, Barbie with Margot Robbie, Child's Play 2, or Bride of Chucky? Or did we miss them all completely? Let us know.
Yeah, the fact
But
that
the other
Annabelle
question
isn't on
is-
this list, we're going to be raked through the coals. Go ahead.
Yeah, Annabelle.
Great, congrats.
Yeah,
Have
but
fun.
going back to
Annabelle
what
isn't
Ryan
good,
said,
though. Like,
because
I'm sorry, but
It's not.
Well, but Annabelle is from the first Conjuring movie, which is good.
yes,
Oh, first
but
Conjuring
The
movie's
first
very
time we get the whole like Annabelle story is in the first Conjuring, and it's all
Yeah.
excellent.
Annabelle, the movie, like the second movie, like in the Conjuring universe, though, is terrible. The one that came out in 2014, awful. I can't even finish it. Like, it's such a bad
It's not a
movie.
good movie.
I will say I think that Megan is a really good doll movie, but I don't agree with Ryan that it's going to make it into the upper echelon of
Well,
doll
not-
movies.
Well, listen,
not
if
quality, but-
all it has to beat is Bride of Chucky, it has a great shot.
Yeah.
I think
has-
zeitgeist
you're right
wise,
about that.
what Ryan I think is alluding to, and you can confirm this, zeitgeist wise, hitting the culture, being something that people
Yeah.
talk about for years, Megan has that possibility.
Well, Cheese, thank you for mansplaining what I was trying to say, but
Anytime, baby.
and speaking
Anytime.
for me, yeah. But yes,
I'll
no,
say I'm more excited for this than F1,
Oh,
which
God.
comes out the same weekend.
Well, kindly fuck off.
I think that Megan is going to make a splash, and people are going to be seeing it, talking about, posting it on social media, and it's going to make money. And if that's like the criteria to get into this echelon, I think Megan has got that down pat.
Well, let's
Yeah,
see
I think that Megan is going to be memed everywhere, and F1 will almost instantly be forgotten.
Well, and
Oh,
can I
let's
just
see? Yeah, go
Can
for
I
it.
just add, because so one of the things that made Megan popular was that dance. It was all over TikTok. It was all
Yeah.
over social media. And they leaned into that again in the trailer that came out. There's another dance and blah, blah, blah. So that's going to like also prolong it, kind of like the Wednesday dance did for Jenna Ortega a couple years ago.
Exactly.
And I will say, though, in defense of the people who went under for the prediction, a lot of horror people were not impressed by that trailer. A lot of people thought that a lot of people think that this movie looks like shit. So, I mean, it could have a big opening weekend and then not only have like the drop off of the competition, but the drop off of the quality, bad word of mouth, because I don't foresee this being good. I think the first movie is fine enough. Like I would probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10, but I think this is going to be like 4 out of 10 quality wise. So if it's bad, it's going to drop off, but we'll see.
Well, the one thing that does scare me in my overall prediction, and the spoiler for my over-under domestic prediction, is there is one group, one sect of audience goers that you cannot predict whether they're going to show up or not. And it's the same group that made Minecraft the biggest hit of the year. If the youths want to go see this movie because they love Megan 1, they watched it at sleepovers, they love memeing.
Can we not call
them
that? It really makes us sound old.
The
what?
The youths of America could really set this movie on fire when it comes to box office receipts, and I believe that's what TJ is banking on, because the over-under number he gave me is something else. So let's end this show predicting the domestic opening weekend of Megan 2.0. Again, the first one opened to 30 million domestically. The over-under number for Megan 2.0, $40 million. Going up against F1, going up against all the movies that are out right now. Megan 2.0 opening weekend, just 3 days. There's no holiday. You haven't forgotten about anything, folks. It's 40 million Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just domestically. I can't say under any faster than I can right now. I'll be taking the under on that one. Ryan, you'll be going last because you are the guest here. Kellerman, I think I know your answer from the way you've reacted.
I was so ready to go over until you said the number. Gosh, I really think it's going to do well, even against F1, I think. But, man, 40 is high considering the fact that, like, Thunderbolts didn't make 40 million its opening weekend.
28 years later just came out to 30.
Gosh, 40 is high. I am going to have to also take the under. I think it'll get maybe even close, but I'll go under.
Alche, you are, I believe, you're 9-12 now in this over-under record. You need to get back on the winning side of things. Me and you were on the same side. I believe we both, we both took the over on the F1 show. So do you want to go a little bit oppo here? Are you going to try to double me and Kellerman? We both took the under. Where are you?
I do think you're all right, that it is the youths, the kids, the teenagers who are going to sort of like make or break this film. And it has to happen this weekend or it's not making $180 million or more. So I'm going to go over, actually. I think it has a shot. I don't think it has legs, but $40 million means that kids are going to see this movie. 28 years is not really a teenager's delight.
That's a very good point.
I think Megan is a fun movie that you can go and, like, you know, parents will go see F1 and let their kids go see Megan 2 or something. I don't know. I'm going over. I'm gonna roll the dice a little bit.
Ryan, as the guest on our show, the guests do not historically have a good guessing record when it comes to over-unders. Can you buck the trend? $40 million for Megan 2. Are you going over or under?
Well, I'm going to definitely buck the trend, and I'm going to be right. First of all, the youths are definitely seeing this movie. The youths are the target audience for this movie. This is, like I said earlier, PG-13. This is made for them. This is a moment that is just waiting to happen. Really I am going over. I'm sorry. Like, I think that, like, honestly, I had a number written down. I'm guessing 42 million for its opening weekend.
Wow.
Can we just say Final Destination came out and made a shit ton of money its opening weekend, 51 million, and that franchise hasn't been relevant for over 15 years. No one gives a shit about Final Destination. People probably still don't give a shit about Final Destination after that movie has come and gone. So, but Megan is a huge pop culture thing right now. The marketing has been great. There's no reason to think that Final Destination did this amazing number, but Megan won't. I think absolutely over.
I tend to agree. I think it's really good analysis because I think we were sort of comparing 28 years to Final Destination, and that was completely wrong. Megan is way more akin to the campiness, to the ridiculousness of Final Destination, and appealing to the zeitgeist and the teens. So I like what you said.
If that be the case, and Megan hits that number 42 and has that Final Destination's Bloodlines run, because Final Destination's Bloodlines up there in 260, 270 worldwide at this point. Yeah. Well over the 150 mark Ben needed it to hit for the indie movie, by the way. Sorry, Ben. If that happens to Megan, the 10 Days of TJ are starting off great. But we will find out the exact answer to that question when TJ returns next week on the podcast to talk about his dynamite of a movie, Jurassic Park. Ryan, before you leave, before we say goodbye, do you have any thoughts on Jurassic Park Rebirth, or whatever the hell this new one's called?
I don't know. So, like, in some respect, I want it to do well, but in other ways, in terms of TJ, I don't want it to do well. So I don't know. I mean, I think, like, I've thought about this often, like, this idea of having Scarlett Johansson, of all people, be, like, the headliner for this movie. I think that's a great move, and the fact that it's a fresher storyline, everyone likes Jurassic Park. I think it's going to do fine.
Everyone likes Scarlett Johansson. Everyone likes Jonathan Bailey.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got some real heat on it.
I don't know about fresher storyline, though. As far as I can tell, there's dinosaurs on an island, and they got to go to the island.
A little recycled.
Okay, but I meant like, oh God. Okay, I meant like the fact that it's not the same Chris Pratt storyline that we've seen in the last three movies. Like pivoting, like, some people like that, some people don't. Yeah, I agree.
Oh no, there's a water dinosaur and we're in a boat. What do we do?
Come on,
Jurassic Park Rebirth. But we'll be talking about Jurassic Park next week. We'll be talking about how F1 Megan 2.0 did next week. A fantastic week of the box office buds. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, help this channel grow, and thank you, Ryan, for coming on, man. This was a blast.
Everyone, like, subscribe, and connect with Ryan C. Showers. His content's fantastic. His podcast is fantastic. If you want to go back and listen to our episode, we did an episode of
we had a great
Ryan
time.
C. Showers. We had a great time. He's a fantastic host. And if you're a Scream fan or a horror fan or just a fan of the voice you heard today, go subscribe to Scream with Ryan C. Showers. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a blast.
I'm blushing. Thank you so much.
Until then, Jurassic Park. Good luck. Don't see Megan.